Juan, did you hear the question? It's your turn. What are you looking at outside? Pay attention. As I observed my supervising teacher sounding more and more frustrated, I glanced out the window at December's first snowfall and walked near her to whisper, Ms. Lynch, I think it may be the very first time Juan has seen snowfall. What I've learned since that occurrence during my semester of student teaching and over decades in education with children and adults of all ages includes a certain knowing that humans learn best and for long-term memory when the thing to be learned is happening in the moment of their interest. Juan, newly arrived to upstate New York from where he had lived his whole 7 years in Puerto Rico, was mesmerized by the falling snow. This was his interest. This was not his teacher's interest. Her interest was important for her task in a teacher-directed lesson on two-digit addition in a second grade curriculum. It was her job and responsibility to be on schedule with the scope and sequence of the state-mandated learning standards. However, her approach, the approach prescribed by her school leadership and district, required that all children at the same age were on the same page, listening and participating in the same lesson at the same time. This is a requirement whether it is a child's interest in the moment or not. What if there were freedom of choice in learning tasks? What if children's learning was individualized and their lessons based on their interest? What if children could learn at their own pace? What if Ms. Lynch had carefully observed Juan and spoke to him gently? Juan, I noticed that you're looking out the window. What can you see? Would you like to learn more about winter weather? What if there was the opportunity to conduct a lesson in that moment outside? From such an in-the-moment lesson presentation, Juan might have learned from experience about temperature and variation, states of water, and much more. In schools where learning environments are intentionally created to allow for such learning in the moment, during a child's peaked interest, 3 learning phenomena can occur. The child's discipline comes from an inner drive. They conduct themselves with confidence while treated with dignity. And learning takes place in a significant way that leads to long-term memory of skills and knowledge. Rather than Ms. Lynch having to redirect Juan's attention, he may have followed his interest to conduct an investigation of winter weather, including a science log, lists of new vocabulary, written reports, mathematical calculations of temperature changes. Rather than negotiating meaning from strong words from his frustrated teacher, Juan could have felt supported and guided from words showing him that his interests were worthy of dignity. And rather than not participating in the essential lesson for two-digit addition, he could have conducted his own math computations about temperature and snow, which would have had meaning for him. Based on his affinity for the snow, Juan could conduct learning with self-discipline, dignity, and long-term memory for many skills, including addition. Students consistently benefit from opportunities to learn in these ways. And adults who have an interest in students' learning might benefit from adopting such an approach to school environments that are child-led and inspire self-discipline, dignified self-confidence, and lessons that live in each student's long-term memory.